Hi everybody, I'm Red Hill Eagle. Welcome to another episode of Dawn Skaii, Skada Killer, Chapter 1, Lost in Translation. This is episode 3. And just a quick recap from the last episode. I am travelling through the jungle on a planet called Veris in search of Kaiser Volkov, the person who my utility bot used to work with, who hopes will be able to translate a code or a text that we have found underneath the plating of a Skada machine. As I'm walking through the jungle, I get lured into a trap. We haven't envisioned what that is yet, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I rolled on, it's lured into a trap or dead end, so I think I'm going to lure myself into a trap here, and basically, as I'm in the jungle, someone grabs my attention and they tell me that they're desperate for my help. Okay, and I'm always one to try and help others where I can, because you never know when you're going to need their help later on. Even just a passerby who is unlikely you're ever going to see them again, you never know. So always be kind, everybody. And so yeah, they're shouting and they are desperate need of my help. Their daughter is ill. This is what they're telling me. Their daughter's really ill. They just need. She's dehydrated. She has an illness that she can't get dehydrated, basically. So they're desperate for water. He's used all of his. They just need something to keep her going to get to the next, or to get to Janus. That's where they're heading. So this guy tells me. So yeah, I agreed to help. I've got some water on me. So I follow him, and when I get there, there's no sign of anyone. And then I am jumped from behind, and it's his ally, I guess, and he puts up a blade to my throat. So I guess I'm probably going to enter my first fight in this series. It's not my character's first fight, obviously, but it's her first fight during this series, and it's my first fight during this series. So let's see if I can do this right. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking to myself, right, I need to overcome this one. I've got a blade at my throat, but I've got to do something. So I'm gonna set up a progress track. Fight with the ambushers in the Veris jungle. I'll set it to dangerous because I don't want it to go on too long. Being the first fight, I just want to make sure I can kind of get my head around it here. So let's enter the fray. I'm caught in a trap, and I need to roll plus wits because I need to do something a bit skillful, I guess, to get around this. So I'm going to roll on that, and I have a weapon master asset as well. So I believe I can probably use that here. So I'll get a +1, and I get a strong hit. I rolled an 8, and the action die were 3 and 1. So even without that +1, I would have done that. So I can get +1 momentum for the asset bonus, +2 momentum for the strong hit, and I am in control. So I stamp on the bladesman's foot, or kick his shin, or something like that, whatever. Quite hard as well. I'm tougher than they think, and I managed to do this because they didn't expect that from me. He did not expect me to do that. He expected me to kind of like not do anything really, just be frightened out of my skin and just sort of freeze. But he doesn't realise that I am a fighter. So then after I do that, he obviously he's hurt and he's sort of grabbing his foot, so the blade's no longer too much of an issue for me, although he still has it. And I'm going to strike. I'm going to kind of I turn around immediately and just strike it, like try to punch him. So strike, I'm going to roll plus iron, and that's a strong hit with a match. I rolled a 3. No, sorry, no, I didn't. I rolled a 5 in total. My iron is 3, so I rolled a 2 and a 3. I got a 5, and the action die were both 2. So that is a strong hit with a match. So I mark progress twice, and I'm still in control. So the fight progress is now up to 4 boxes. So the guy who lured me originally, because his friend has obviously now been punched, and he's sort of on the floor holding his nose. And the first guy now, he lunges at me, but I want to be quick here, kind of evade him. And I noticed I can't sort of see a move that immediately strikes at me as being something that you dodge or evade. So I'm gonna roll gain ground, I guess, and roll plus wits. And it's a weak hit. I rolled a 7, and the action die were a 3 and an 8. So plus 2 momentum. I'm still in control, and I finally managed to pull my pistol and fire at the guy who originally had the knife at my blade. So it's called him the knife wielder. So this is another strike move, but this time I'll be rolling on edge because I'm using my long-ranged weapon. And it's another weak hit. I roll a 6, and the action die were 4 and 8. So again, I get to mark progress twice. But there's a complication. I expose myself, so I'm in a bad spot. So pulling my pistol and firing has given the other guy time now to recover. But let's mark the progress boxes first, and that puts me up to 8 boxes. So this second guy now gets a chance to. I've exposed myself. He gets a chance to recover, and he takes another strike at me. And he jumps me. He pins me to the ground, and he attempts to wrestle my pistol from my hand. So there's a move here which I think fits perfectly here, which is clash. And so this is roll plus iron, which is very helpful because my iron is 3. And it's another strong hit. Rolled a 9, and the action die were 5 and 2. So again, I get to mark progress twice, and I'm back in control. Well, marking progress once puts me to 10 boxes. So marking it twice, obviously I can't go any more than that. But I overcome him, I knee him where it hurts, and I get back to my feet, and now I just want to end this fight. So I know it's been a quick one, guys, but again, it's my first one. Just want to kind of get used to the moves, and because I think I failed miserably in my previous series when it came to combat. So I'm going to roll against the progress to. This is taking the decisive action here to sort of end this fight. So I've got a 10, and I'm rolling on the progress fight with the ambushes in the various jungle. And I get a strong hit. So obviously I've got a 10, and the action die were 2 and 7. So the fight is over. And let's just say I eliminate the problem. I'm not going to go into too many details at the moment. I eliminate the problem. I think you can all imagine what happened there. So I've won that fight. I've overcome these two vagrants, whatever they were, and I catch my breath for a few minutes, and I decide to search their bodies. I don't want to steal anything valuable from them. I don't think they've probably got anything anyway, but I just want to see if there's any sort of identification on them. But I don't find anything. They are literally just criminals, thieves, whatever. They were probably trying to rob me. So I decide to press on towards the tower. So this is another undertake expedition move, but I'm hurt from that fight, or tired, so it does slow me down a little bit. So I'm going to roll plus wits, and I get a miss. Okay, I rolled a 2 against an 8 and a 2. So I'm going to burn my momentum again, okay, because I just want to get through this now, and I've got enough momentum to push me through. So it makes it a weak hit, and so the momentum was 7, so I beat the 2 at least. So it's a weak hit. I do face peril. I do get to mark progress on the travelling through the jungle of Varys to the tower west of Janus. I probably need to reword my my tracks. I think sometimes they're a bit long-winded, but I reached the tower, and I notice it's being guarded. So I guess is that the face the peril? Is that the peril? I mean, it's being guarded. So yeah. And then I'm gonna try and finish this expedition. So it's another progress roll on the track of travelling through the jungle of Eris to the tower, the west of Janus. So I've got 10 progress tracks. Sorry, 10 boxes. So it's a 10, and the challenge die were 10 and 7. So instead of marking, see, this move confused me a little bit. the word rank confuses me because y- on a strong hit I would have marked 2 ticks, but it says 1 lower rank, 0 if already troublesome. So I I'm guessing instead of rank it must mean ticks because I can't lower the yeah. Well, I'm going to put 1 tick on the discoveries track, but I do face another unforeseen complication, and this is how I envision that. So I'm kind of hiding in the undergrowth, and I'm just checking out this tower, and I'm looking and I'm seeing what's there. There's a few sort of windows. Maybe it's really old, and a lot of them are broken, missing. There's a few maybe chunks taken out of the stonework. But I'm also sort of tracking the guards, where they are, where they're walking, how long it takes them. Really trying to get a strategic view of how I can overcome this. And as I'm crouched there looking, I suddenly get a tap on the shoulder. I'm going to take you behind the scenes now and just tell you that the way I play this game, what I do is I play the game, then I record these episodes. It's just the way it works out for me. Sometimes I get to record, sometimes I get to play when I can't record, and all that sort of thing. So at this point, with that tap on the shoulder, that is where I actually left off my last session, or a session. So to start a new session, I used the begin session role for the first time, and I forgot to use the end session role last time, but it's okay. It's something I need to kind of remember to start doing. So on the begin the session, I roll a D100, and I get a 92. So unforeseen aid is on the way, or within reach. Plus 1 momentum. So I'm kind of imagining here a scene away from where I am. If you imagine watching a TV show and you've got all my action, and then it cuts to a scene that's somewhere else, and it's Kai Freeman back on Luminous Station, and she is rushing through the corridors and dodging people, and she looks like she's just in a rush. And eventually she reaches her ship, clamps herself in, and she burns her ship outside of that dock. And as she's now flying through space, she picks up her communicator and dials. So then we're back to the main action, if you like. I just had this tap on the shoulder, and I freeze, and I hear a synthesized voice. "Could you come with me, please?" I slowly stand, hold my hands in the air. "I'm not armed," the voice says, "but it'll be foolish if you try anything. Just come with me." So then I turn, and I face this person, and I can't see their face. They're covered in like some sort of breathing mask, or it looks like a breathing mask. Not that you have any problems breathing on Veris. "Come with me, please," the voice says again. "This way." They say, they're waving their arm towards the tower. And slowly, I can feel the eyes of the masked guards staring at me. All the guards that are around this tower, I can feel them staring at me, whether they are or not. Probably not, but it's just my paranoia that, I'm being stared at here as I'm being walked towards this tower. And as I get closer, I notice that none of them appear to be armed, and I find that quite odd. What, are they protecting this tower, or I don't know, why are they there? And this person who is telling me to go to the tower, they've also declared that they're not armed. So, kind of what's going on here? Maybe they don't need to be armed. Maybe they are quite powerful without weapons. But I do sort of, it runs through my head that, what's to stop me from just running now? If they're unarmed, they've got no projectile weapon, but he did say that it would be foolish of me to try anything like that. And I'm not really sure how to go about this. So I'm gonna gather information, and I'm gonna try just to get the scene going. Really, I'm gonna just see if there's something I can get from my surroundings. Perhaps overhear a conversation or something. I don't know, but let's roll, and I'm gonna roll on wits, and it's a strong hit with a match. I got a 6, and the challenge die. Well, they're both 5. Was not expecting that, so it's a +2 momentum. Strong hit with a match. So this is what I'm going to envision. I think this is kind of like this is what we've been waiting for, especially with a match. Echo bursts into life, distracts the guard, who's taking me to the tower, and Echo just said, Echo has detected Kaiser Volkov's life signs. Kaiser Volkov is in the area, and it's a big probability that he's in the tower. There's nowhere else. I know that I said that Echo, when he detects life signs, it could be kind of a range. It could be like up to a couple of miles, maybe. But I think it just kind of makes sense that he's in this tower. If it turns out he's not, based on dice rolls, then okay, fine. But I think we've definitely got our hopes up that Kaiser Volkov is in this tower. So with the guard distracted because of Echo, I attempt to gain some sort of advantage. I don't know, some kind of leverage. Maybe not harm the guard, but I don't know, maybe kind of like trap him in some way, pin him down in some way. So I'm going to lunge at him, and I think the best move to use here would be the battle move. It's not quite a fight. I just want to be able to use him as maybe like a hostage or something. Just gain some sort of leverage over these. I'm going to call them guards, even though they're unarmed. So I'm going to use my speed and agility, so it's rolling plus edge, and it's a weak hit. I roll a 6, and the challenge die were 2 and 10. So +2 momentum, but I pay the price. So I pull my knife and grab the guard, and pull his arm up behind his back, and I put the blade to his throat, and kind of like gets the other's attention, but pay the price due to a weak hit. And I rolled on this one, and I got I can't remember what number it came up at. As I said, I play, then I record. I didn't note down the number. But equipment or vehicle malfunctions. I thought, well, what? How do I interpret that? I haven't got any kind of equipment or vehicle. But then I thought, well, somehow I drop my blade. My blade slips from my hand, so I no longer have that. If I try to pick it up, I'm going to probably fumble, or I'm not going to be able to hold on to this guard as well. I've still got him in my grasp, and all the other guards are looking on. They're in horror. They motion towards me. And I sort of shout out to him. I might not have my weapon to his throat anymore, but I know how to break a neck with my bare hands. I've dealt with tougher foe than whatever you guys are. So I'm going to roll, just to get things interesting, a story complication. And again, I completely forgot to write down the number. I'm using Stargazer, so I don't know if there was a number here. There probably was, but it came out as someone important reveals their problematic secret or history. And I honestly rolled this, and when it came up, I thought I'm not sure I could have rolled any better. Maybe I could have done, but the way I interpreted this was like, wow, what a roll. But then saying that, I could have rolled something else, and I could have come up with something equally as good. But so I do kind of work out what happens at this point. One of the guards says Deadeye, and that's my call sign, so they know who I am. Okay, so Deadeye, we're not here to harm you. You know who I am? How do you know? He holds up his communicator. Kai Freeman. Then he takes off his mask. Echo goes berserk. It's Kaiser Volkov. So, progress roll on find Kaiser Volkov on Janus stroke Veris. And on the progress roll, I get a strong hit. Well, I say I didn't have to roll, but I had 9 boxes filled, and the challenge dice came out at 2 and 8. So only just, but I did it. So I get to mark 2 ticks on my Quest's Legacy track. Volkov, I know you're looking for me. I don't know why, and right now, I don't really care. I've got some urgent business to attend to first, and I need you to help me. I need your help before Kai gets here and tries to stop me. And I think, Kai? What? What's going on? Okay, so maybe they were friendlier than I thought, or Kai's managed to contact Volkov eventually, finally. So Volkov tells me that inside this vault, inside this what is now appears to be some kind of ancient temple, there's some kind of hidden secret. Whether that's an object or I don't quite know yet, but there's some kind of something that's hidden that's, I don't know, mystical, or there's myth and legend surrounding it, kind of Indiana Jonesy here. But it's been buried for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. It's legend and myth. It's a myth that it's something that Volkov has studied and hunted for years. New evidence pointed him to this place, to where the belief is that this, whatever it is he's looking for, is here on this planet and in this temple. So he believes that now he can get in there and he can uncover whatever the secret is. But the legend says it will cause great danger, as these things always do. And he doesn't necessarily believe such nonsense. As in the danger that it could, in the wrong hands, it could do this. He doesn't. Volkov doesn't believe that side of it, but Freeman does, and Freeman's going to try and get here and stop him. So I consider it. I consider what's going on, and Volkov promises to help me with whatever I want if I help him now. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going against Freeman here, maybe, but I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at, I keep saying it, but what is this code, this text? It must be something important. So I've found you now. You've got to help me. And yes, okay, we'll do whatever you want. We'll do whatever you need. Let's get in there and find whatever it is you're looking for, hopefully. We are going to undertake an expedition into the ancient temple, and I'm going to give it a rank of dangerous. I was thinking about making it formidable, and I do want to start challenging myself a bit more. But as I've mentioned previously, I think these progress tracks, they're not a marker of how dangerous something is. They're a marker of how long things take. Which I guess is the same sort of thing in a way. But I don't want things to go on for too long at the moment. I think with this first chapter, I possibly made a mistake by introducing a story, and I think next time I'm going to let the dice do that. I'm going to roll, then I'm going to find out what happens, and then find out what my quest is for that particular chapter. So let's just stick with dangerous for the moment, and certainly in the future I will be looking at making things a bit more difficult. But I think we'll leave it there for this episode. I think that's a good place to stop. I will try to sync up my sessions with episodes. It's not always that easy. I don't always get to record, so I play when I can and go back and record, when I get the chance. So hopefully now I will try to sort of keep, sessions within an episode frame. And I think the last episode went on for a lot longer than I hoped, really. I think 20 minutes to half an hour is probably about the limit. And I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me for the next episode, where we will undertake this expedition into the temple with Kaiser Volkov, and I kind of, from my character's point of view, get that out the way, and then find out what this code translates to. So I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Goodbye.